difficult times. I mean, for us consumers, me and you, for the government, because they have to juggle this. And now we're hearing from transport operators, we are hearing from LPG, everybody saying this is going to go up. And
I don't think the government take this thing serious enough. I don't think they do. Look, we've been calling for the pricing, the deregulation, and the pricing process to be reviewed. The current CEO promised civil society that he's going to do it, and true to his word, there was a committee that was set up. Some of us felt that some of the people on the committee shouldn't be on the committee. But we were told that, look, it's been set up, we should submit our views. We did. There was an engagement at Fiesta Royal last week. So you see that the current CEO of MPA is trying to look at it. But for us, the reason I said I don't think government is serious enough is that petrol is a necessity. We cannot choose not to buy. Okay? So the attention, in some countries, is a national security issue. Now, it can either be the fall or a rise of any government. You heard the gentleman on the phone saying that he's asking for 5 margins and levies to be scrapped, and he mentioned bust margin, doesn't know why we should pay it. It's not. He's ill-informed. Government is not even informing the populace of why he's taking some of these monies. If bust does not get that money, there's a lot that will go wrong in this country. You understand? So the issue why I said that I don't think government is serious enough is that there are some mechanisms that government itself can take charge of. Key among them is the FX. Okay? Because if you look at the price difference between what we were at pre-COVID, January, March 2020, and what we are now, the price shouldn't be where it is if the dollar to the cedi had been managed. So we realize that the dollar to the cedi, the FX, is the biggest influencer in that price build-up. Because whatever we do, when we take it from the pump, what do? We take the cedis and buy dollar and import the product. The second part of it is how that space is regulated. We have 172 OMCs. Why? OMC business is the only business you don't need capital to start. Meanwhile, you don't need. Look, if you know somebody who has a station, get 3 or 4 stations together, BDCs will run to you, give you product on credit. All 3 of us go to the pump, pay our money. He takes 30 to 60 days to pay the BDC. No OMC do spot buy. The Vivos, the Total, the Goys, they are all buying on credit. So the minute you have a filling station, there are 42 BDCs. All these 42 BDCs, then is the number game. So the product they bring in, if it sits in a tank and it doesn't sell, they lose money. The outlet where these things are sold is the OMC, which is the forecourts. So they bring it in, they rush to these forecourts to sell them there, and these forecourts do not need to have cash to pay for it because the BDC needs somewhere to sell the product. So he'll give it to you on credit, you sell it, 45 days later, you give him his money. Meanwhile, that 45 days, credit has now kicked in. The interest charges and all those things has eaten away some of the money. FX losses has come in within that period. So you realize that the BDCs are crying, that they are being squeezed on their margins. The OMCs, who do not have to have money to start this business, okay, are the ones who are now taking our money. God knows what they do with it within 30 days to 45 days before they pay the OMC, before they pay the BDC. In some instances, some OMCs are taking money. They owe the BDC, they've not paid, but they are building other new stations.
You've run an OMC before?
No, I have not. I have not run an OMC before. Okay? But the point is, the OMC business is such that, why is it that you can't do a spot buy? Why do you need 40 to 60-day credit after I have paid you for the product? So the inefficiency, what Ghanaians are suffering from, is a system which has been put in place and nobody is taking a handle of it to basically regulate it line by line.
That's what
No, it's a deregulated market. They are only looking at, okay, indicative prices. They do estimations. Okay, we think that within this margin, yeah, okay. We buy the product in weight and sell it in volume. You understand what that is? Okay, so we buy it per metric ton, which is the weight of the product, but we sell it per liter, which is volume. So there's a conversion that is done. And the conversion, they use an average to convert it using the density of the product to convert it from metric ton to the liter, to the liters. Now, when I brought this up, my brother Senor told me that, oh, there is a price escalation and de-escalation that is used to check this. But my concern is that in that space, there is too many overestimation. There's too many estimates that goes on, not specifics. So what me and you are paying at the pump, a lot of the things that goes in there are estimations.
The price freezes, will they make a difference?
Yes, of course. 16 pesos of the pump, of course it will make a difference. But the point is that...
I mean, but the GPL to you, they buy the bulk of it. They say it will...
Let me tell you what, if I'm government, I will do the 16 pesos, which I can. Okay? I wouldn't touch anything else. If they want to increase prices, government, they can go to the Ministry of Transport and do the negotiations and increase prices. It will have the dominoes effect in the economy. That is why I'm saying that I don't think government takes it serious enough.
Well,
because you understand what I'm saying? Because it has a dominoes effect in the whole economy. And when prices comes down at the pump, that increment never comes down again. Okay? So if I'm government, I will do more to make sure that those increment doesn't happen.
How?
I honestly, sorry?
How can the government do that?
By looking at the price. Because look, we need to cap the OMC margin. You can't leave the OMC. OMCs in January, March, were doing 30, 35 pesos a liter as their margin. Today, some of them are doing between 60 to 70 pesos per liter. So it's a deregulated market, so the margin is not capped. And we are paying for inefficiency of an OMC. You're going to have Mr. Ajimendia on, and you can ask him.
He's on now. I mean, let me bring in Mr. Ajimendia. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mr. Ajimendia?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, so tell me.
Kofi is making some. Let me correct on the assertions Kofi is making.
Okay, Kojo, that's Kojo Poku. Yes. Give me your quick reaction. Give me your quick reaction to that, and then you can give me your specific.